Check it out, guys. I've got the newest Samsung Galaxy Watch 8. It's the newest smartwatch from Samsung, just out, going head-to-head with the Apple Watch. I'm taking a deep dive on the Galaxy Watch 8 to find out what's inside this box and is it worth your money. Tech it before you wreck it. What's up, geeks? I'm Kirk. If you're a Samsung user, you're probably pretty familiar with the Galaxy Watch series, and this is their newest model. It's a redesign of the Galaxy Watch 7, so it does look a lot different. On the inside, though, the guts are mostly the same, so this one really is about design. So what I'm going to do today for you is I'm going to show you what comes inside the box. I'll take it out piece by piece, and then I'll take a deep dive look at connecting this watch to my phone. I'm going to show you how the setup process goes, connecting it to a non-Samsung phone. I'll be using my Google Pixel. And then if you hang out to the B side of this video, I'm going to tell you who might want to pass on the Galaxy Watch 8 and who may want to think about buying it. So let's get this thing over to the table and get the Galaxy Watch 8 unboxed.
There it is, the Samsung Galaxy Watch 8 in the box. Simple Samsung white box with a picture of the watch right there in the middle. You've got the Samsung logo up on the top, of course, and Galaxy Watch 8 on the bottom of the box. Same thing on the side, very simple. On the other side, it's blank. On the bottom, you've got your numbers, your UPC code. On the back, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, GPS, tells you what comes in the package, and that's pretty much it. It does say wall charger sold separately. You're gonna get the USB cable, but you do need the wall charger separately. Ripping off the strips so we can open this box up, and we'll do the little wiggle test to get the bottom box out. There it is. There's the watch. And before we get to that, of course, we got to check out the contents of what's inside the top of the box here, where they usually keep the extra accessories. This looks like a quick start guide, the very simplest of quick start guides. It's pretty thin, but it does have kind of a breakdown of the buttons on the device, how to use the charger, which apps you're going to want installed, how to install the band, and that's pretty much it. On the opposite end of the box, it feels like you've got the charging cable here, the little charging adapter, if you will, for this watch. Here it is, a very simple black charging cable, and it's got a little pogo plug, if you will, although I think it's magnetic. It's probably an induction charger, not a pogo charger, because pogo would indicate those little dots that we don't see here. It's USB-C on the other side, unbranded USB-C plug that goes into your computer, and very simple unbranded induction charger for the watch. Let's get to the watch itself, and oh, all right. I guess the watch face is not attached to the band yet, just the face kind of hanging out, and there it is, the new redesigned Galaxy Watch 8, and the guts on the inside are pretty much the same as the Watch 7. It's the redesigned outside that's the biggest difference here, and I do like the redesign. That's where you attach the bands on each side. I'll show you that in just a second. You've got a couple of buttons on the side, looks like a microphone hole there on the side as well, because on the other side, oh, look at you can see the actual face sticking out, the raised face there on the metal casing. It's really, really cool design. Speakers on the other side here of the watch, and then on the bottom, you've got all your sensors there, and a couple of buttons for releasing the watch bands. You've got some screws, and I do want to show you what the wording on the back here says. It says made in Vietnam. It's got the serial number. It says by Samsung, and I'll flip it over. On the other side, it says SML320, the product number, 40 millimeter sapphire crystal, and GPS. And then you've got these sensors in here. Of course, your sensor for your heart rate and whatnot. That sensor kind of bulges a little bit out of the back there, which makes sense. It's got to kind of stick up against your skin. Diving deeper, we're still looking for the watch band, which I'm guessing is underneath this bottom here. And there it is, the white watch band that comes with this model of the Galaxy Watch 8. It's got the silver watch face and the white band. There's nothing in the top here. I don't know why I was checking that, but there's nothing in the top there. That's it though, just the watch band. And I'll show you how this works, because it's very unique how this clips in. There's like a metal flat pin in the middle, and that goes inside, and then you push it and it will click inside. You'll feel it. It feels good when it snaps inside. You know it's secure. There's a button on the bottom. You hold that down, and that lets you pop the watch band back out. Now, this isn't standard. This is a Samsung thing, which means you're going to have to get Samsung watch bands to replace it. It's not going to use a standard watch band. But I do like how quickly and easily they go on and off. Again, you push it in, you feel a very reassuring snap, and you know that watch band is in there and good to go. Okay, I'm going to hit the button on the side here to power up the Galaxy Watch 8. Looks like I do have the watch bands on the wrong sides, which is easy to do because the watch face itself looks the same from most sides if you aren't used to where those buttons are. So just make sure you put the watch bands on the right side. But again, they're easy to pop off and easy to switch, which I'll do in a second here. You see the Samsung Galaxy logo on the screen. We've got some googly dots kind of going over the screen now as well. Let me hit the button to wake that back up. And there you go. It's got a cool little welcome screen on there and some colors. Nice looking screen here on this watch. Not a huge surprise there. Galaxy Watch 8 WFHY. Not sure what that is. Maybe that's for the app. But it's saying check for pairing, a pop-up on your Galaxy phone. If you have a Samsung phone, it'll pop up automatically. If you don't, you're going to have to load up the Galaxy Wearable app, and I'll show you what that looks like. For this demo, I'm using a Pixel phone, a Google Pixel phone, the Pixel 9 Pro, and I'm in the Wear app, which is what I use for my Galaxy Buds already. But what I want to do is pop into the bottom here. There's actually a little icon for a menu on the bottom of the app, and it shows you all your Galaxy wearable devices. You hit the plus button, and it should show up in there. As you see, it's been recognized on the bottom. I will tap that on the bottom, and it should now connect to the watch. There it is. You get your typical Bluetooth pairing code, so go ahead and pair the watch. Nothing complicated here. You just have to accept the pairing code on both the phone and the watch, and now they're connecting, and now they're going to start syncing to one another. It is asking me if I want to install the Watch Manager. The way the Galaxy Wearable app works is it has other apps that you use for different devices. So if you don't have the watch, they don't install the watch components. If you have a watch, then they have you install it as a separate app. It can be a little complicated, but nonetheless, just follow the prompts and it should install it for you. Then you pop back over to the Galaxy Wear app, and it should walk you through the next steps. So now it wants me to sign into my Samsung account. For the sake of speediness, I'm going to skip that. I don't need to do that right now. You do have to agree to all the terms and conditions, and so we'll accept that. It's asking me if I want to allow the app to have access to my Galaxy Watch through a bunch of permissions. I'll accept that as well. Keep your watch connected to the phone. Do you want it to tell your phone not to turn the watch app off in the background? I'm going to skip this, but you should probably accept that because it's not going to be able to talk to your watch when you're not using that app exclusively if you don't allow that to happen. So now it looks like it's getting ready to connect, probably transferring some data back and forth between the watch, and we'll let this do its thing. Okay, so that just finished up, and now it says it's getting Google account info. So not only did it need a Samsung account, but it also wants to connect to my Google account as well, which makes sense. I kind of wish they would just combine both of them. I hate the fact that Samsung phones want both accounts and Samsung devices want both accounts. I don't know. Throw it down in the comments. Let me know if you think that's kind of goofy as well. So I'm going to sign in with my Google account here and accept that, and hopefully it'll be able to connect all my Google stuff to this new Samsung Galaxy Watch 8. Okay, more terms of service, this time from Google. I'll accept those. You can select apps to sync with your watch if you like that. You can automatically back your watch up. I will hit next on that. Do you want to do that? Smart switch, transfer your apps over? No. Now it's asking to set the preference. I'm a left-handed wrist watch wearer, so I'll accept that. Of course, it's telling you what you can do: track your stress, track your sleep, track your running. It's a smartwatch. Of course, it does all that stuff. You can get help in the case of emergency by hitting the button, I believe, 5 times on the main screen. And then now it's finishing up, which looks like it's connecting back to the watch and going through this progress meter all over again. I don't know why, but this is kind of annoying. I feel like whatever you're doing now, you probably could have done the first time you had this on my screen. But let's give this a second to do its thing. Okay, that time it was actually pretty quick, and now it just comes up to a getting started page on the phone, which goes through kind of the basics of navigating the watch. But I'll go on to the watch itself, where it says you're all set, and give you a closer look at kind of the basic functionality here. And the watch is still starting. Again, I really like this design. Let me know what you think of this design in the comments. It's got that steel back, and it's kind of squared off, but then the watch itself, the face itself, is round. I like it. I kind of dig the watch bands that Google and Apple are doing, where it doesn't have the traditional kind of holes. But all right, it's going to do a little tour here, and I'm going to go down the tour. Swipe down from the top to open the quick panel. This quick panel looks a lot like the Google Pixel Watch quick panel. It's different a little bit, but looks similar, has a lot of the same icons and options and whatnot. And then swipe from the left. Oh, I'm sorry. I swipe up from the bottom to see your apps. I'm not a big app guy on my watch. I mean, of course I message and whatnot, but I don't really install a lot of apps. But if you do, that's where they're going to be. A lot of the Samsung apps, of course. Slide from the right to see your panels, and you can customize these on the phone and set these up the way you like it, but it's going to give you a lot of health information and different kind of notifications and stuff. But your true notifications are if you swipe from the left. This is your text messages, notifications from your apps on your phone, which you'll probably have to triage. Make sure you do it on your phone. Set up which apps are going to get pushed through, because I only want certain emails coming through, certain texts coming through, and all this stuff. That button in the top right corner, that's your home button, and it's telling you that, and now it says that's it. Enjoy your watch. I actually like this face. That's a default install here. If I put my hand over it, yeah, I should put it to sleep. You'll notice it's still on slightly, but I wonder if that's an option too. Typically, the always on screen option is an option you can turn on and off. Again, those are your apps from the bottom. That was a Google Maps app. You've got your notifications to the right, but that's pretty much it. That's the Galaxy Watch 8, brand new from Samsung.
You've made it to the B side, and I want to talk more about the Galaxy Watch 8, who it makes sense for, and who may want to pass. If you're an Android user, if you're a Samsung user, you're not looking for an Apple Watch, this is the cream of the crop. This is a great smartwatch. At $350, it's not cheap, but the price makes sense. You get a very solid watch. It feels heavy, it feels nice, and it just feels like quality. I think it's worth that money, and I think if you're looking for a top-of-the-line smartwatch for your Samsung or Android phone, this is a great option to go with. If you already have the Galaxy Watch 7, I think you should probably pass on the Galaxy Watch 8, because on the inside, the guts are mostly the same. Sure, I really love the redesign. I think it looks super cool and super sleek, but I just don't think most people are gonna wanna spend $350 to $500 on a watch that, at the end of the day, despite a little bit of a battery bump, is mostly the same as their Galaxy Watch 7. Maybe wait for the Galaxy Watch 9 next year. So what do you think? Are you shopping for the Galaxy Watch 8? Do you already have the 7? I'd love to see your comments. I read every single one, and I'll comment back on every single one as well. So go ahead, test me in the comments. I can't wait to see what you guys have to say, and I can't wait for you to follow me here on YouTube. It really helps me grow my channel, so I'd love it if you do that. Tech it before you wreck it. I'm Kirk.